Okay. We get this set up here on X, and I'll post it on Substack as well. I'll just paste that in there. All right. So this evening I am going to be working on some layout, and that's going to be for book number 3. Sorry, I'm looking for my other books. Let me just here. Had one somewhere over here. Woo. Book 3 of the Illustrated Institutes. This is book 1 right here. Book 2 is on its way to the printer, I believe. As soon as we get some few small minor edits going. But then we'll have issue 3, which I'm currently working on right now. If you've hopped on any lives in the past couple of weeks, you would have seen me laying it out. And so I have chapter 10 all laid out on little note cards like this. But I don't have chapter 11 done. So that's what I'm working on right now. And if you have any questions or comments, just hop in the chat, or if you just want to say hi in the chat. It'd be great to hear from you. I had some of these numbered. There we go. There's my numbers. So I'm doing this because I don't want to have too many pages in chapter 3 or book 3. So the only scripts I have right now are for chapters 10 and 11, but book 3 is going to contain 10, 11, 12, and 13. And I do not know how many pages I will have once I'm done with all of the thumbnails. The second book got to be quite a bit longer than the first book. This first book is, I believe, just 80 pages total. Yeah, 80 pages. But it's only about probably like 62 pages of artwork. And already my book 2 was like 86 pages of artwork or something like that. So that one's going to be quite a bit bigger than the first one. And I'm just afraid that this third book is going to be even bigger than the second book just because of all of the intricacies of the storytelling here. So in this chapter 11, it's called The Idol Factory, and so that's what I'm working on right now. I have some sketches laid out here along the side of the script, and I'm just gonna use those as kind of a reference point, starting off point. To get my thumbnails going. Let me just see if I have page 1 somewhere. There it is. I'll start with that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So chapter 10 is already 23 pages. So I think I wrote out 22 pages. Actually, if you don't count the title or the chapter page in that one, it's 22 pages. Hey, we've got a couple new viewers. How you guys doing? say hi and let me know where you're watching from in the comments or in the chat. So I have 22 pages at the ready right here. And don't worry, that's not blood, that's a marker. This is my sketchbook for just coming up with ideas and stuff. So here I did a bunch of sketches for Calvin and his special virtual reality gear that he wears in chapter 10. And then these animals are unrelated. It was just a page that had some blank space on it, so I took up that blank space with my sketches. Get these out of the way. Put this back in there. I'm going to move this folder out of my way. Okay. Wait, these ones. Okay. So this script is labeled with panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, but I usually don't really pay attention to that because sometimes I need more panels or less, and not less panels, but more panels than what it has labeled here in order to get everything that's going on in the scene. And so I think those are helpful for Martin as he's writing these out. But and they are helpful for me as well because it kind of breaks it down a lot better, so it's a little easier to look at rather than just one big script. So So now I just go through and figure out. So this is the very first page of the chapter. So I'm gonna want an establishing shot of something. So they're coming up to this big factory, and so I want an establishing shot showing where they are, what they're doing. So I'm just kind of toying with the idea of kind of having them here in the foreground walking towards a very large cathedral-like building that has smokestacks on it. And there. Okay. So that's kind of my my establishing shot. Maybe 3 smokestacks on a big tower. Maybe there's some big trees next to it or something. Okay, so we've got this big cathedral-like factory that's pumping out idols. Maybe there's like a wonky looking smokestack there. There we go. Just a minute. Looks like it's gonna rain. Finally starting to get some good weather, but rain is coming. So there's my thumbnail. That, and then we'll kind of have, oh, that's another thing. I need to go through and label each line of dialogue with a number. I need to number each one. Okay. And then I will reference those numbers when I put in my dialogue here. So actually, let's get, I'm going to put a panel inside here. This is going to be 2. This is going to be 1. And this is going to be Calvin saying his third line there. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3 lines. Although I think I could fit all of these just in that one panel. I'm gonna kind of redo that a little bit here. If I rearrange the way that these guys are, what if I know what I'll do. I'm just gonna erase the whole thing. Move it down. So we're actually gonna start with a wide angle shot of the 3 of them walking. They're walking side by side. Calvin is talking. And let's see. Who speaks first? Calvin, then Theo, then Calvin, then Geneva, then Calvin. Okay, so I think I can do this by just connecting the bubbles. Now she's a bit taller right there. So we're going to do 1, 2, then 3. But that's going to be connected to that one. Then 4. Then 5. So actually I could do 5 just in a separate panel and just have Calvin's head there talking. Okay, so that gets that out of the way. Then we've got our big old reveal about what they are coming to. And it's, so they're just walking, walking. Factory right there. And that's gonna just be a full bleed part of that page. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. I see one person stopped in. I'm working on laying out comics for the next John Calvin's Institutes book. This is chapter 11. Okay, so now they get to the door, and actually this could be taller, and then this could be shorter, like that. And then I will erase this. Let's see, this needs to look kind of at least a little bit like a cathedral. Okay. And they get to the doors, and maybe they're just looking up. They're all looking up at a sign. A sign that says, what does the sign say? Welcome to the Idol Factory. Get all your worship needs here. So I'm gonna actually have to make that be 5B. We'll put that right there. Now they're looking up at the sign. They're not saying anything yet. Oh, but maybe Calvin could be saying his line from number 6 right there. Okay, and then they go in. They go in, and there's all kinds of conveyor belts. They're standing in the doorway, and they just see all these conveyor belts pumping out idols. And the idols are sitting on the conveyor belts. Okay. They don't say anything, they just see it. Okay. Or, well, actually, Calvin might as well say something because we've got this room. It doesn't necessarily need to be a silent panel. Okay. So that is how I lay out thumbnails. And then what I do is I'll take photos of these and I will upload them to my special program that is tracking all of my progress on these comics. It's called Comics Flow. It's a really nice website. It has a good layout and everything. Easy to use, easy to understand, and it tracks my progress each day. Tells me how many pages I need to get done or how many parts of pages I need to get done per day in order to reach my goal. And so it's very helpful. I also have a Google Sheets document that also does the same thing, but that one tells me how many steps per day that I need to complete in order to stay on track with my goal. And so that one's just a little bit more helpful because it's better. It's a little easier to track those steps rather than track the days. Okay. How about we do a little bit of drawing here now? This is what I'm gonna do. Find a blank page here. Oh, there's Calvin. This page of Calvin's being weird. Get one of these. So there's a few things I need to do. I need to figure out what this idol factory is going to be like. And so what I want to do is kind of do like a layout. This church building. They typically have like rounded back. So they walk into the front doors, and immediately there are these like big things spitting out spitting out idols, and those big things are connected to this other part of the factory, these rooms. Maybe there's a door right here, but these are like, these have the people working on them, putting the idols on there. These probably have baskets at the end that the idols drop into, and then you've got people over here receiving them, and maybe they go up into this area, and this is maybe where they process all of the orders for the idols. So they've got tables all set up, maybe with boxes. Okay. And again, this is like a big oven conveyor belt type of thing where they're just making stuff. Okay, and then we go over into here. This is a doorway. Maybe that goes up here, and there's like steps that go up to maybe there's a track upstairs that goes all around the whole building so you can look down and see into this area. So this is where like we would have the pipes coming from. So maybe it's a dryer that's like drying up all the things so they're all ready to go. All right. All right, so that's kind of what I need for if I'm doing any sort of building where people are walking around in, this is what I need to do in order to see like what they are, where they're at in relation to everything else in the room, and what is even in the room, and all that stuff. So that is very helpful for me. This is what I did for Calvin's house in book 2 or issue 2. I drew just this layout of Calvin's house, how I wanted it to be, and where they were going to be sitting and standing in different portions of the house. And so this kind of top-down layout of the building is really helpful for me to be able to decide where people are going to be standing, where they're going to be talking, what they're going to be doing. So this is the layout for the idol factory. Like I said, I did this again another time for the previous book in for Calvin's house, but then I took I actually drew a picture of what each wall would look like. So if it had a window, or if there's a couch here, then what I did was I actually uploaded it into this this AI 3D modeling thing. I uploaded each wall panel into there and it gave me a 3D view that I could turn around and everything, so I could put it at a specific angle and then use that as reference for that angle in the book, which was super helpful. Because buildings are just super complicated sometimes to draw and figure out. So that was helpful. I was glad to use that. But anyways, this is for book 3, or issue 3. If you have any questions, comments, just let me know in the chat. Be happy to answer those here. I think that's good for that one. So then I'll just have to continue on with these thumbnails. And I have the script over here. So I'm done with page 1. So I can flip that over. Okay, on the next scene, after they see all these idols on conveyor belts, they're gonna go up onto a platform, a high platform with a safety railing, in order to kind of look down on the process and see how everything's working down there. So they're gonna actually be up here. This is like the platform. And my phone, which is acting as my camera, says it has 20% battery remaining, and I don't see a cord anywhere around here. So I may have to call it quits on the live. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, just before I go, let's see. You can get issue 1 of the Illustrated Instututes, which is what I'm working on laying out right here. This is available at RefToons.com. And you can also pre-order issue 2 while you're over there at RefToons.com. Just search for the go up into the merch menu item, click on that, and then go to books, and you will see the two books there. So this one's available now. The other one's ready for pre-order. And issue 2 is set to release on June 24th. That is what the publisher, P&R Publishing, has told me. And so that is the date we have set for that one releasing. So check that out. And as I work on issue 3, again, thank you all for tuning in, and I will